Hi, everybody. I'm here with one of my favorite people, Brittany Ross. You're not going to get any more real of a conversation today. I'm so excited to talk about this conversation. Your blog post, Brittany, was what it really means to have the perfect summer body. Because I try to drive stuff on YouTube and Google. I Googled that, and bottom line, the most searchable topic was how to love your body when you hate it. So on YouTube, you will see that I'm titled this video, How to Love Your Body When You Hate It, but it is springboarding off of Brittany Ross, who's a blogger. She has a blog called It Blazes Her Trail. And you really are, and I'm not just saying this because we're live and people are tuning in, that you really are one of the greatest writers I've ever read. I mean, like, I get it, I feel it. I almost feel like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I'm not necessarily a writer. I barely passed English school. You can ask my cousin Michelle, but I'm a talker, and so we're going to talk today and have fun. This is one of the most universal topics we're going to talk about today. You know, body image, summer, swimsuits. And it's interesting because it don't matter what language you speak, which sex you are, everybody can relate to image. I am a certified life coach, and I have life coached kids who are 9 and people who are 60, 70 and older who are still struggling with self-image. So I am very, very excited to connect with people, and I'm just kind of talking and giving some people some time to tune in. Anybody who's tuning in, any questions you have, any comments that you want to make, Brittany and I will be here to talk with you guys about them. So Britt blazes her trail. We are going to talk about how to really have the perfect summer body. And we're going to be using high fives. So Brittany's going to give her 5 ways to help you get more confidence quicker than it took her. The reason I love our high five promotion and program is because it is about helping people think their best, feel their best, and believe their best, and doing it quicker. Right? I mean, if you can meet with somebody and say, hey, here's a shortcut, wouldn't you want to take it? So Brittany is going to give us her shortcuts. Brittany is a writer, a storyteller. She has an amazing testimony. She's an overcomer, an exerciser, a mother, a runner, a fighter. She has overcome things and has been determined to stay strong. She's also the mother of 4 who at any time could run around and yell they have to go pee. So that's what I love about Brittany, is everything she does is real. So Brittany, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. I am so excited to be part of the conversation. And yes, I am parked right in the middle of my kitchen, which is right in the center of my house. All 4 of my kids are shoved in the family room, but like Terry said, they could come flying in here at any time. So consider yourself forewarned.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So those of you that are tuning in and joining us, go get one more top off of your coffee. We're going to be right back, and we're going to get right into Brittany's top 5 ways to how to have a really good summer body. Is that what you said? How to have the perfect, not just good, but the perfect summer body. So go get your coffee. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We are with Brittany Ross, who is a blogger. Subscribe to her channel. You will not regret it. She is a phenomenal writer. And like I said, everything that you get from Brittany is going to be real. It's going to be down to earth. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, I feel like that was my story that she told. And she has a phenomenal story. So go to brittblazeshertrail.com, subscribe to her blog, and you won't regret it. And there you can get in contact with Brittany about anything. I know her heart is to really help people. So if she says something that really triggers you and You think about it a couple of days later, go to brittblazewithhertrail.com. You can get in touch with her there, find out all the things that she does. She teaches Zumba on class. She did it through May, and it kicked my butt enough to where I kind of had to almost drop out because I felt like I was watching you on fast forward. I'm really not even sure still what was happening there. You really missed your call. You could have been a solid gold dancer. Anyway, so Britt, give us a little history, a little background on your blog post that really lit the fire to have this conversation, which is what it really means to have the perfect summer body. Give us the rundown.
Okay. So, like most women, I have struggled my entire adult life feeling like I needed to lose weight, like I didn't measure up. In fact, statistically, 95% of people cannot achieve the body that they promote in media. So those bodies that are photoshopped on the advertisements that we are all looking at and feel like we fall short, 95% of us physically could never get there.
Right.
So we're all set up for failure when it comes to society's efforts to make us feel like we don't measure up. So I have struggled my whole adult life. When I was in high school, somebody called me fat. And they told, it goes way back further than that. Even in second grade, I remember feeling like I was fat and asking people if I was fat and this and that. And then my adult life, as I was in high school, I was anorexic for a few months. I didn't eat. That was among other things that were going on. Sorry, we got, this has been a struggle my whole life. Now, as I've gotten healthy and whole and really, started to pursue healing for some of the things in my past, some of the painful journeys in my past, I still hung on to this struggle. Now, it was a constant back and forth. I said in the blog post that I've gained and lost the same 30 pounds probably 5 times in the last several years. Now, 2 years ago, I started a weight loss and fitness support group. Now, my heart for the group was to help people achieve fitness from the inside out. So I didn't want, anybody can follow the meal plan, follow the exercise and lose weight. What I wanted was to really heal the internal struggle that we have, one with our body image and also with food, because I think it's a 2-pronged issue.
Right.
And achieve fitness that way. So in 2018, I did that group and I found a lot of success. I stumbled across my personal success. I lost 30 pounds. I felt great. I wore a real, like I said in the blog post, I wore a real bikini to the beach that year. I'm talking like a full blown one, not the high waisted ones you can pull up over all your insecurities. Like I was like,
right.
And so I felt so confident, and I was also feeling very healthy in my mind and my thought processes. And I just felt good. I felt like me is what I could say. So about that time in my life, my family, we unexpectedly lost my 20-year-old cousin. She died. And that sent shockwaves through everybody.
Yeah.
I had a severe struggle in my marriage that almost tore our family apart. Also, my grandma was diagnosed with cancer and was given 18 months to live. Now, this all happened within a 3-month time frame.
Wow.
So I turned back to food as my source of comfort.
It's always there, isn't it?
It is. And it's not like drugs or alcohol where someone's going to come beat on your door and be like, listen, we need to stage an intervention.
Right. You're spiraling out of control. Right.
Yeah. It's acceptable to eat. And I'm not even bringing it up to say it was even a bad thing then. It was the best thing that I could do for myself at that time. That was all that I knew, and it was a safe friend. So that paired with the fact that I had a couple running injuries, I gained back all of my weight. So from that point on, summer 2018 to today, like I said, I've gained and lost the same 30 pounds. I've done strict programs to lose the weight again, and then I've run back to the food and whatever else. So what I've really come down to, what God has really brought up to me is, will you accept yourself here? Will you accept yourself here? You accepted yourself when you were 30 pounds lighter. You felt good. You had good thoughts about yourself, good thoughts about your body. You felt empowered. What about here? will you accept yourself here? And I just got to thinking, like, is my self-acceptance really that shallow that it's rooted in the way my body looks or how much I weigh?
Right.
Like, I'm done with that. Now, I look at people generations ahead of me that are gorgeous. I'm talking like drop dead gorgeous, like beautiful, and they're still going around the same mountain of wanting to lose weight, try harder, do more, be better. And I told Michael, my husband, I said to myself, I don't want to be 55. I'm 33 years old. When I'm 55 years old, 60 years old, and if I'm still going around this mountain, Lord, take me home. I don't want to do it. So today it ends for me now. I am learning self-acceptance, and I say as we move on and talk about my high fives, I'm very much in the process of this journey. I have not mastered this. This is not something that I'm like, I've got this figured out. This is something that I'm very much in the process with right now. And I think when I posted my blog, I legit had butterflies. Now, you've read all my posts, so you know that all my stuff is vulnerable. All my stuff
Yes.
I talk about deep personal things. But this post gave me butterflies because it's such a present struggle.
Oh, it's a universal forever. I mean, I'm welling up with tears, which I was not expecting.
Yeah.
But I think I was so excited to talk this out because I just need to talk it out.
Yeah.
It's
Not
like,
just
yeah,
you.
so keep going.
Everybody, I mean, like I said, 95% of women, we all need to talk this out, and nobody
Yeah.
really does. And that's the thing. I posted this. I posted on the blog post. I posted a picture of me in my swimsuit this year, and that was big for me because, like, I wish I would have posted. You know, I could have posted the one in 2018 when I was rocking the hot bikini and feeling good about my body. But this year, it's a struggle. But I refuse to let my daughters see me flounder in this area. I am going to give them something they can hang on to. And I'm going to give them an example of somebody who is body confident, regardless of if they line up with today's standard.
Yeah.
And so that's my commitment, and that's where I'm at in my journey and in this process. And like I said, that was such a hard thing for me to post because it's such a present battle.
Yeah.
And it's one that I feel like we are called to for such a time as this. Like
Yeah.
you said, you're welling up with tears. You're resonating with this. I believe there's many women out there resonating with this right now. And this is an issue that is coming up to the surface so that we can get healing and wholeness.
Yes. Yes. So before we get into your top five, I just want to kind of retouch base. We are talking with Brittany Ross, who has a phenomenal blog post. She's a phenomenal writer. Subscribe to her blog. You will not regret it. Again, if she says things that pierce your heart and she taps into her testimony, she has a phenomenal story. She is an overcomer. So feel free to connect with her. And again, we were talking about how to have a perfect summer body. And it's so funny because, like I said, I couldn't wait to have this conversation because it's universal. You know, as a life coach, again, I literally just met with a 12-year-old who has anxiety because of her self-image. It just keeps getting younger and it just keeps going longer. And the thing is, it really is universal because I sit at public pools, in the past couple of years, and I'm amazed to see boys in t-shirts that won't even reveal themselves because the image, when Abercrombie and Fitch and all those boys started showing up in our windows, I mean, it was raising the elevation for boys and men to look away that it just seemed like that pressure never was on them. So, I just encourage any man, anybody who's watching this, not to shut it off. And so we're going to get into Brittany's 5 points. But again, I know Brittany and I's heart is to connect with the people. So if you have a comment or you want to interject anything, you can. And we would love to get to that. I just want to kind of say, it's funny, 2 things when you're talking that made me well up with tears. I probably shouldn't say this, and I almost want to whisper, but I guess my husband can watch this. But last night he said, you've really corrected me. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you've been talking about image a lot the last several months. And he said, the way that you look, you're constantly saying, what does this look like? What is this? He said, I'm now looking at myself, going, oh my God, I look fat. He goes, what are you doing to me? Just stop talking. Before we came on, I just thought I didn't draw. And so all the ladies can relate to the fact that I said to him, babe, is this bra okay or does it give me back fat? He belly rolled. He's like, what are you even talking about back fat? Like he's like the things that you say and the terms that you have, like everybody knows what this. I'm like, everyone on this show will know.
Yeah.
What are you kidding me? Anyway, so tune in, stick with us. We just want to be real and have a great conversation about this. Let's enter this summer, Brittany, like you were saying, which was moving my heart, just different, in control of all this chaos. So let us have it. You're going to give us your top 5 ways you want to help us accelerate in finding freedom from this whole topic.
Yes.
So go for it.
Okay, so the first of my high 5 in this topic is, I said, buck the system. So like I said, society sets us up for failure. Society itself demeans and reduces women to their physical form. Men too. We are living in a society that only sees what's on the outside. So when we're reduced to our physical form, obviously we're going to be conscious about it, body conscious. Do we measure it? And then I said, not only are we reduced to our physical form, then we're shown images that we physically can't meet. So we need to acknowledge that it's the system that's broken, not us.
I love that. Say it again.
It is the system that's broken, not us. Now, we're taught to measure things by the fruit. Okay. So when you see the fruit of a system that's focused, so body centered and so centered on what we see on the outside, the fruit of that is widespread narcissism, widespread eating disorders, and mental illness. You see it all around. It is the system that's broken, not us. Now, we consciously, no matter if we have to fight, we have to set ourselves up to stand against a system that is meant to reduce us. Now, we could get into why the system's meant to reduce us. It's because we have a voice. We have something inside of us, in our souls and in our spirits, that's worth sharing. And if we're so stopped up with what we look like, we'll be too self-conscious to share what's really important and what we've been put on the planet and purposed for.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yes, that's the number 5 is buck the system, acknowledge that it's the system that's broken, not us.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Number 4.
Number 4. Can you put number 4 up on the screen? Wear what feels good. So I love a one piece. They look beautiful. I think they're sexy. I think they're great. They're so stinking uncomfortable. When I get a one piece wet and I go into the bathroom and I try to pull it off to go to the bathroom and then I got to pull it back on, it's like I got to do Zumba to try to get that sucker back on. So they're just not comfortable. I love the comfort and the feel of a 2-piece. Now I got a 4-year-old who's about to crash.
I'm trying to play on the iPad.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
This is Brogan. He's our number 4. Go ahead. It's on the stove. Ask Bubba to help you.
And it's not even fair that a mother of 4 is even talking about being able to get into a 2-piece. So that's like episode number 2. But okay.
So I always hear the term, like you hear the term like in the fitness realm, like get your summer body, get your bikini body ready, bikini swimsuit ready, bikini body ready. Let me break this down for you. A bikini body is a body with a bikini on it. That's a bikini body. Like you don't need any other requirements. You don't need a 6-pack, a flat stomach, non-jiggly thighs. You don't need that. What you need is the confidence to put on what feels comfortable and what allows you to soak up the sun and what allows you to get in the pool with your kids and have fun. Like that's what a bikini body is a body with a bikini on it. So
and what I don't need is anybody with a camera within a 5-mile radius of me when I'm in my suit is what I don't need. But go ahead.
See, I disagree. I feel like we need to take pictures on it, because if we're in this culture where they're showing us the flat bellies, and which there's nothing wrong with the flat belly. If they're showing us all of this type of body, we need equal representation. What about us girls that don't have that? You know
Right.
what I mean? And it's like, because we don't have the confidence to put ourselves out there. And so it's like, wear what feels good. You don't need to meet some kind of standard and requirement to put on the shorts, to put on the tank top. It's freaking 95 degrees. Take your sweater off. Like, you don't
Right.
You don't need anybody's permission. It is not your job on the planet to be physically attractive to people. That is not your job.
Right.
Your job is to be authentic and true to yourself. And part of that is coming into a place of self-love to where you can wear what feels good for your body.
Well, and I think the thing too, Brittany, just to tag onto that, is for me personally, I've struggled with my weight my whole life. 15 years ago, I had gastric bypass. So, I know what the whole struggle is and how far it can lead you. I could remember once, I was about 20 years old, and a girl who I idolized. She was a dancer in school and she taught exercise. She was this big, she just, the long hair, everything about her screamed, I want to do that. And I remember her coming up to me once and saying, I don't know how you do it, but I work my butt off to try to be confident. How are you so confident? Now, you could walk away from that and you could think, wait, that was like a totally left-handed compliment, because what she was really saying is, you're huge. How do you like yourself? And the reality of it is, there is an aroma that we send off, period. And when there is nothing more attractive than a woman that you look and say, oh my God, is she really okay with this? Like, is she this confident? How could she be this confident? And so there is something to lacing up your suit and just go do you. Make memories with your family and live your life, because that is less attractive than the person who's insecure and who's wearing earmuffs to the pool. And it's like, that's more obvious than, being overweight and in a bathing suit, or not looking perfect and being in a bathing suit. Now, I will say, I got to be honest with you, and I don't know what your thoughts are. Pick the right suit.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's what I mean.
We can help ourselves out here a little bit. I mean, you don't have to be.
Yes, absolutely. You pick the right suit for you.
For you.
I pick the right suit. I'm not putting my suit on thinking, I hope Terry approves of this.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? I put my suit on and be like, dang, I'm looking good in this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel good. I'm comfortable. I like the way this looks.
Yes.
I don't need your approval. I don't need anybody else's approval. And I certainly don't need society's, because I'm not going to get it.
Right.
I think, like, when you come to this issue, like, I legit have friends who could be supermodels, like gorgeous, and they still struggle with their body image. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, clearly this is not an external issue. No. Just like you said, you've ran into the dancer with the long hair and the perfect body, and she was still not confident.
Right.
So this is something that this is not an external issue. This is an internal issue.
Yes.
And I think we'll get to more of that later. But yeah, so wearing what makes you feel good is about you feeling good about what you wear. Now, if you don't feel good in a two-piece, don't wear it. But don't choose not to wear a two-piece because you think other people will think your thighs look fat or whatever else.
No, I gotta be honest with you. My suit got a skirt on it, and that's what makes me feel comfortable. Exactly. I'm confident in it. I mean, it's not a maxi dress skirt. Right. I'm not trying to hide myself entirely. I mean, I am going to get into the pool, but when you choose the right suit, it is about what you like. Oh, who's going to think this is Grandma Goose? Because you can go either way.
Exactly. Absolutely.
You can get out of your comfort because it makes you feel better and you feel comfortable in it. So it's about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
I love that. Love it. Okay.
So the third one, if you want to throw that up on the screen, identify self-sabotage. Now, as I mentioned before, like I'm a fitness instructor. I'm a runner. I love that. I also love food, and I love all of it, and every category: carbs, love it, fat, protein, whatever. So what I only mention that to say this is a two-pronged issue. You have the issue of an unhealthy body image, and you also have the issue of self-sabotaging our fitness efforts, and more importantly, self-sabotaging our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So what that looks like is we can micromanage our bodies and say, I'm not eating this, this, and this because it's going to make me fat. I'm so scared of being fat. I hate my body. I don't want to look like this anymore. So I'm not going to eat carbs for the rest of my life. Okay. That's micromanaging your body. You are trying to get your body to do something for you. Okay. That is micromanage your body. Then there's also the other side of self-sabotage where you are comforting yourself with food, you're overeating, you're being careless and reckless about the things that you eat. Listen, I have been both places. I am not coming from a place of judgment. Balance is somewhere in the middle. And so what I've found personally for fitness success, it is best to identify one bad habit at a time. Okay. Now, when you identify the bad habit, it is not because you want to coax yourself into change. Okay. This is what we're trying to get away from. When you identify the bad habit, you are saying, this is sabotaging the way that I feel, the way that my body functions, and my ability to thrive as a human being. So identifying self-sabotage is about picking one bad habit and committing to change it one step at a time.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, because I mean, I remember over the years when I was on Weight Watchers, their principle was we can't focus on the main amount of weight you need to lose. They focus on 10%. So if you hit your 10%, they celebrate with you like you hit, you lost everything you ever dreamed of losing. If we don't break it down into something manageable, most of us will just shut down and say, screw this.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm reminded, and I should print your blog post out. What did you say? If anybody who knows what Brittany said, this will be a little test in her blog post. You made the comment about, oh my gosh, I should have wrote it down, about the way that we see ourselves. I'll have to find it and I'll put it on the post here. But you made a comment. I know I highlighted it in your, when I made a comment. It was such a good statement, and I thought I would remember it right now. It's clicking from my mind. So no, I love that. And identifying self-sabotage. Do the things that are going to work for you. I also think a great principle, that I try to apply is, you're starting things from the wrong motivation when you have to maintain it. And you have to browbeat yourself, and you have to force yourself, and you have to, so if you're choosing a certain very strict diet, because you want to lose this weight because you don't like yourself, you'll constantly be living in judgment. You'll have to maintain it out of that same anger.
Absolutely.
There's
Yes.
nothing healthy in that.
That's where my fluctuations have come in, because it was, I think I'm wondering if this is the line. I said disordered eating is disordered eating, whether you eat too much or whether you eat too little, it's still disordered eating. And like we've got to find the place, and I'm not talking about change everything overnight. We have to find the place that we feel we are thriving, and we are not eating to punish ourselves. We are not eating to comfort ourselves. We are not eating because of that. We are eating to celebrate life. That is a good thing.
Yeah.
We are eating because it's fuel for our body, and we're eating what we love to eat. So someday it might be a waffle slathered in butter with syrup. But the other day we might feel like our body, we really need some eggs and, weakness.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't tell you what will work for you, but I will tell you that if you approach your fitness to say, I've got to change everything. I'm such a fat slob. I can't stand the way that I look. I want to lose 30 pounds by next month. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're probably going to lose. You could possibly have the willpower to lose that weight, but then
you're going to gain
where
it
does that
back.
leave you?
And you get it back and then some. Yeah.
Right.
I think the statement that you made that I'm thinking of is something along the lines of do it because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself.
Yes. Work out because you love your body, not because you hate it. That has to be the motivation. And so often in the fitness world, the fitness realm itself uses fear and hatred to get you to move.
Yeah.
to motivate you. Like, do you want to look like crap in your bikini this year? Like, you better get moving. Like, do you, get rid of the muffin top, get rid of the love handles, these are all things that I've bought into or even said before about my own self, or my own fitness classes. It is so not the approach. It is not a life-giving approach.
Yeah.
It's not a life-giving approach. We have got to look at our bodies and say, you know what, you are worth moving because that'll make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for what you've accomplished for me. Thank you for being the instrument that I've been given to carry me throughout life.
That's awesome.
Identify self-sabotage begins with one bad habit at a time.
Awesome.
And for me in 2018, when I had a lot of success, this is just a practical thing. Again, this is something you need to talk about and you need to think about and you need to ask yourself what would work for you. But for me, I had a horrible time binge eating at night. So my kids would go to bed. It was what I did to comfort myself from a stressful day and what I did to unwind. And so I realized that had to go. So I stopped the binge eating at night. That was what my goal was. And it was just a very gentle thing, to say, I'm not going to sabotage the fact that I ran my 5 miles today, or, I'm not going to sabotage the fact that I ate healthy by sitting here and doing this, because this is not bringing me the results. This is not bringing my body the health and the wholeness that it needs. Yeah. So that was one thing that I did that really helped. And so I just identify one bad habit at a time and move one step forward from there.
That's awesome. All right. So number 2. So number 5 was buck the system. If it's the system that's broken, not us. I love that. Number 4 is wear what feels good. Number 3 is identify self-sabotage. And number 2 is repair the relationship.
So repair the relationship has to do with the fact that we are 3-part beings. We are body, soul, and spirit. So many times we, with our soul, beat up on our bodies and we tell our bodies how horrible and disgusting they are. And we expect them to do something for us.
Yes.
And that is something we need to repent for. And I heard Abby Stumball on a teaching that I listened to with her. She's amazing. She has a podcast called The Connected Life. One of the teachings that I heard her say is she repented to her body. She got naked in front of the mirror and said, I am so sorry for the way that I have treated you. I'm so sorry for the hatred that I've had towards you. And just repented by name the parts of her body that she has loathed. Okay.
Wow.
And that releases something, it not only, it releases us to now repair that relationship. So we're having a healthy relationship with our body. We're not manipulating it and micromanaging it into change. We are truly able to hear what it needs. And that's where I'm at in my personal journey right now. I'm not going to jump on some train and do some wild diet and, do all that. I'm so stepping away from that. I am going to listen to my body and I'm going to say, what do you need? What do you need to thrive? What do you need from me? Do you need to rest today? Because I'm such a go-getter. Like I can swing way the opposite. Like I can eat like a hog, but I can also work out like a freaking beast. You know what I mean? So I can tend to just try to run off all the damage that I've done with food.
Right.
And so I am instead really coming to a place where I'm saying, what do you need? Do you need to rest? Do you need a moment to just chill and rest? What do you need? What do you need to thrive? Do you need more protein? Do you need more water? You know, we can ask our bodies. Our body is an entity that we can have a relationship with.
Yeah.
And if you've spent your life despising it and treating it like trash, then there's definitely some repenting and repairing that we need to do with our bodies.
That's excellent.
And I think that's a huge part of self-acceptance and real change.
Yeah. I think, we would be amiss to talk about how society and this whole concept of image has created anxiety. Anxiety is a huge buzzword. There's a lot of self-medication and things that happen. And I love what you're saying about the body. I mean, my heart is really for the body in the ministry that I do, using sound to identify what the body is saying. But typically, if we believe and understand that our body is an amazing machine made by God, it can tell us what it needs. It
Absolutely.
can tell us. And I think the shift that I mentioned before that you said is that the lens changes. If we're doing this because we love our body, not because society told us we're not good enough.
Yes.
Then we could really have change and sustain it. And our body, when it sends us a check engine light, we can release anxiety. Because the way I like to identify anxiety is our body is saying something and our mind is saying, shut up, don't say that.
Right.
You can't feel that way. So whether we're really angry about something, but we weren't raised to think that we can't express anger because it's not a good emotion. So we're constantly suppressing. But in this area of image, our body really wants to resonate. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are good enough. But our body, because it agrees, or our minds rather, because it agrees with society, is saying, shut up. We are fat and ugly.
Exactly.
We are not good. And so we don't even understand where these pockets of anxiety come from.
Right.
So then if our husband might say, or a friend might say, oh my gosh, are you going to wear that? I mean, we want to throat punch him because we're already managing this tension. The body is trying to say to us, Terry, we like us. You're okay. You are good enough. And I'm telling it, no, you're not. The way I see it in regards to the body and all that, it's emotional pooping. I mean, the body's wired to do it. We eat, our body takes what it needs, and we poop out what it don't. That's the perfection. See, we get toxic thoughts that come at us, and if we don't take maybe anything in there that we might need and poop out emotionally the stuff we don't, then we're trying to process toxic behavior, which is just killing our body, and it's creating way more outlets of problems than even just abuse. It's producing in the marriage and our relationships and friendships. Anyway, so I love that whole concept of repair the relationship with the body.
It is so, and that's the thing. It is an amazing machine and it will speak to us. But if we've told it to shut up over and over again for me, 33 years, if we've told it to shut up, like you said, you're fat and ugly, you're not supposed to feel good about yourself.
Right.
That we've got work to do.
Yes,
you can't beat up a friend forever and expect them to trust you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a friend and say and constantly talk over her and not listen to what she needs and then expect her to be real with you.
Right.
I'm sorry. We got some emotional pooping happening in my kitchen.
I love it. Let it out.
Let it out.
My sister's been saying a lot.
What's that?
My sister's been saying a lot. How would you respond if you heard somebody, like for me, if I heard somebody talking to my granddaughter the way I talk to myself?
You'd throw down.
Oh, I mean, I'll give you a 5-minute lead, but you better start running. If
Right.
I heard somebody talking to her the way I address myself, sometimes mentally and even sometimes verbally, that sometimes you just have to remove yourself to see that there is a relationship here with ourself that needs to be healed. It needs to be mended. And
Yeah.
it really is our body, because our body is all that we have. We have to, yes, we have to be motivated to do this because we love it, not because
Absolutely.
we hate it. I love that.
Yeah. So that's the thing. When I looked at the generations in my family and I looked at my daughters, like I want to give them something that they can hang on to. Like I want to give them so much peace and self-acceptance rooted in something deeper than whether their weight's going to go up and down. I mean, we're women, for crying out loud. We
Yeah.
have menstruation, we have pregnancy, we have menopause. I mean, our body will change. Can we love it through those changes?
Right.
Would you love a friend through her changes? Think about the person that you love the most and spend the most time with. Is it because they're attractive? Probably not.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like we expect that out of ourselves, or we reduce ourselves because society has told us to. And it's time to repair that relationship and really come into a place of wholeness where our bodies, souls, and spirits are in alignment and in unity together towards wholeness and towards our purpose on this planet.
That's awesome. Well, Brittany is going to release her number one tip for us. But before she does, I just wanted to highlight her again. Brittany is a blogger. Please go to brittblazeshertrail.com and subscribe to her blog. You will not be disappointed. I am with 330 Media, where we are trying to elevate the 330 area and highlight the people who are doing it. So if you would like to be featured on our high five, I would love that. You can get through 330media.com. And the idea of the high five is to help people get further faster, to help people think their best, feel their best, and believe their best by giving them the answer to the test. There's lots of answers to this specific test, but there's a lot of people that connect to what Brittany is saying in the 5 things that help her. So our desire with 330 Media is to be able to connect with people and help you think your best, feel your best, and believe your best. So if you would like to be highlighted on this channel and you have a high five, everybody has a high five. I don't care if you're a seamstress, if you work at a fast food place or you're a CEO. Everybody has something that you've learned that you can help people do quicker and avoid the mistakes you've made. And so that's why I'm so appreciative of Brittany's vulnerability and being able to have this candid, important conversation. So Brittany's going to give us her number one tip. It is, do you need me to tell you what it is?
I got it. It's embrace self-acceptance. This is it. This is the journey. I mean, I think if you look online, you can find a lot of things that are telling us to be body positive, okay? Which it means, kind of similar thing, to feel positive about our bodies. Well, listen, I'm not going to feel positive about my jiggly thighs or my love handles, but I can make a choice to accept them and say that they are a part of who I am. And because I love who I am, I embrace this part of me. And I don't need to have anxiety and micromanage myself in order to change that.
Right.
And so self-acceptance is, you don't have to love every single part or like every single part of your body, but you do need to accept it. And you do need to treat your body as a friend and not an enemy. I think so much of our anxiety with our bodies comes from the fact that we expect this external piece of who we are to give us something that can only be done internally. And what can only be done internally is self-acceptance, is that self-love. And it doesn't matter if we're 800 pounds or 100 pounds, that will not change. It is not something external. And like I said, I've had plenty of friends that are supermodels in my eyes, but still struggle to embrace themselves with self-acceptance. And that's where it has to be rooted in something deeper. It has to be rooted in the fact that, yes, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I had it out with God before because there's a part of my body that I really don't like. And I was like, why? Why did you make me like this? And he's like, because I love it. It is so beautiful. It is so perfect to me. Like, there is one of you on the planet, Brittany Ross. There is one of you on the planet, Terry Moser. Like this, I created you because I love that about you. And we don't necessarily have to get to the place where we feel good about it, but we do need to accept ourselves and agree with God that it is good. You know, that that our bodies are a good instrument. They are instruments. They aren't ornaments, you know, and we want them to be ornaments, you know, that we can flaunt or whatever. And we think that'll give us some sort of internal sense of peace. But our body is really just a great instrument to carry the real gift inside of us, which is our purpose on this planet, you know? So.
Wow. That statement, first off, if I wasn't afraid I'd misspell instruments and ornaments, I would put that up there real quick. So if you're watching this right now, just put your hands on yourself and say, I am not an ornament. I am an instrument. Yes, that was so powerful. We were not made to be ornaments. We were made to be an instrument.
Absolutely. And that goes right back to the objectification of our bodies. You know, this is a societal issue. And if we continue to agree with society about how things are measured or how things should be, we can't come out from underneath that. Like we have to break agreement with that. And I love that. Yes, we are not an ornament. We are an instrument. And, you know, the way that people spend money, I mean, you can look up the statistics. The money that is spent to change and alter the way that we look in this country, beauty products, fitness stuff, all of that, it is, you can tell that we have just bought into society's definition of who we are and our self-love, you know, and what our self-love needs to be rooted in. And we act like it's our job to be physically attractive to people.
Yeah.
Like, it is our job on this planet to make sure that we remain physically attractive. Like, that is so not cool. I remember like growing up, you know, seeing, and I don't want to name anybody by name because I'm not trying to offend or be derogatory, but like seeing these beautiful celebrities that are just so cute and gorgeous. And then as they age, not letting themselves age, you know, so they go through the plastic surgery and all the different things. And it's like, I remember crying out and thinking, can somebody please show me what it means to gracefully age? Because it's not a bad thing. It is not our job to be physically attractive forever. Why?
Right.
What is the pull for that? Like, what's the deal? Like, I don't know. It's such a switch. We want other people. That's why embracing self-acceptance is the number one thing, because we want everybody else to accept us. So we try to make ourselves physically attractive so that everybody else will accept us. But even if everybody else accept us and we don't accept ourselves, we'll never have the sense of self-peace and the sense of peace and love that we're looking for. It begins right here, and we can't get away from that. It doesn't matter how gorgeous we are.
Yeah.
So
yes. Well, Brittany, I just love that. Star typed it out for me. Well, not necessarily for me, but she did all the spelling. But I am not an ornament. I am an instrument. And the thing I like about that is, you know, I like to play the piano. You know, there are different instruments that produce different sounds. There are instruments that we don't even know exist in other nations and in other realms where people have been creative to produce sound. And the reason I love that too is it speaks to the fact that we are unique.
Yes.
If I'm going to play the piano, I'm definitely want a certain sound. I'm not playing the guitar.
Right.
When God created you, it's because he wanted a certain sound. He didn't want Terry's sound coming through.
Exactly.
You know, that statement can go so much broader and deeper about the uniqueness and how God has created us and why he created us. And then even more so, what song am I supposed to be singing? So you know, it goes back to your other point about confidence. You know, when you're at the pool, you've selected the bathing suit, then rock it. Because
Exactly.
that song of confidence is what's going to billow out over the pool and all the people there, not the
Right.
song of self-hatred. Although they're both going out, but the one that people are going to be drawn to is the confident one, not
Absolutely.
the self-hatred one.
That is so, so good and so true. It reminds me of this one time. So my testimony is interesting and I won't get into it much, but I love Jesus and I have since I was 7. I got saved when I was 7 years old, but I couldn't be good, quote unquote. And what I mean by that was I couldn't walk the Christian walk and do all the right things and say all the right things and follow the rules. Okay. I couldn't. Now, because it was such an external thing to me, you know what I mean? It didn't flow out of a heart of love and obedience towards the Lord. So, I've had to really grow in my faith and walking things out and stuff. And had to learn to be about love for me. It had to be about love for God and trusting his love and his wisdom, that his wisdom was my protection. And so, when I had really recommitted my life to the Lord at like in my early 20s, I was going to church and I just felt like I was going to a different church and stuff, but I just felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb. And I felt like there were all these systems built up or in the church that, like, you know, these ideas, these roles, and this might have just been my perception. This has nothing to do with anybody else's perception or what people were saying or not saying. This is something that I perceived. If you're a good Christian mom, you homeschool your kids. If you're a good Christian mom, you don't cuss. If you're a good Christian mom, you do this and that and the other. Okay. And I was reading scripture and Jesus says in Matthew 6, you are the salt and the light of the world. What good is salt if it loses its flavor? And God says to me, you might be garlic salt. Somebody else might be cinnamon. Somebody else might be onion salt or whatever else. What good is salt if it loses its flavor? How boring if we lose our flavor. Right. You know what I mean? And like we go into our lives and we go into the world and we want a cookie cutter. We want to be what's accepted. We want to be what's accepted in the church, or if that's our realm, or if it's at work, we want to be accepted in the marketplace. And so we think we need to do this, that, and the other. But really what the world needs is for us to show up as our authentic self, because they need our sound and they need our flavor. Yeah. And if we're so busy trying to dumb ourselves, our flavor and our sound down in order to be like somebody else, the world's missing out on what our authentic voice was meant to be. You know, and that's really what self-acceptance is about. And I think so much energy and effort is spent on trying to fix our bodies that we don't truly heal our soul. You know, and then when our soul is healed, like you said, that is so much more attractive than anything that we could ever see on the outside. So I'm just so passionate to see that in my own life and pass that on to my kids and really be that ripple effect, you know, for other people, because I don't want to see anybody shut down anymore, trying to pretend to follow the rules and be somebody that they're not created to be, you know, when we need you to, the world needs you to show up as you, and to confidently be you. And I was telling my sisters, I hope she doesn't feel bad for me calling her out here, but I have a great relationship with my sisters, and my one sister, we were getting ready to go to a picnic and we were all going to be swimming. And she's like, listen, I apologize. I look like crap in this bikini that I got. I bought it a while back and I gained weight and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hold up. This is before I wrote the blog post. I said, no. I said, listen, this is what I need. I need my daughters and my sons to see men and women of all shapes and sizes confidently showing up as who they are and wearing what makes them happy and embracing themselves with self-love. I don't want you apologizing to me because you're wearing a bikini that you think is gross. Right. Like, I want you to put that on and rock it like it's your job. Because I want my kids to see you showing up as you. Yeah. You know, not hiding yourself because you don't think you measure up. Like, we're done with that game. We're not doing that. I'm blowing right out of the water. Yeah. You know, so
Well,
Yeah,
and I think too, I think sometimes when when we stop looking limitedly right here, I'm fat and I can't, and our perception is this big. When we take a step back to something bigger, honestly, what you're saying is true. I need you to get your crap together, Brittany, so that your kids can become spouses for my grandkids. And
exactly.
we can restore a healthy family relationships. I need to get this together so that my grandkids could raise up in this confidence and meet your kids. And we will take back family for what it's meant to be. So sometimes we're so focused on self, we do need to take a step backwards and say, whoa, we all have a way bigger responsibility to change this because we need to take family back.
Exactly.
We need to, stop the divorcing, stop the forfeiting of life because we're just overcome with anxiety. We need to take this stuff back. So,
Yeah.
Brittany, I totally love your vulnerability. Again, totally love everything that you've shared with us. I love the fact that with social media, this video can go on and on and on. So you can share this, post this with somebody, to somebody that needs to hear it. Like and subscribe to the 330 Media channel. Like and subscribe to everything Brittany does. Let me put your page back up there, brittblazeshertrail.com. The goal is these voices need to rise up. And so we do need support. We need people to like and share what we're trying to do in the effort. So if you've not done that, join subscribe to the 330 Media YouTube channel. Be a part of this show. Get in touch with me. But Brittany, I know you would agree. I feel like we would be amiss to not say we've talked a lot about inner healing and that it is a crucial portion of how you and I have both gotten freedom. So I'm going to put up here that Brittany and I, in our, outside of the that we do personally, are affiliated with the Unleashed Healing Center. I'm a certified life coach there. And I do sound balancing. If you're interested to hear what your body is trying to say to you that you've been ignoring, we have some ways that we don't want to just to say you need this and not give you a safe place. There's a lot of people doing inner healing that may not be rooted in God, Jesus and the Holy Spirit God. And so the Unleashed Healing Center, this is their information. Phone number 330-965-6000. Or you can go to the unleashedhealingcenter.com and see some of the approaches that I know Brittany and I have both used to get further faster, to do the inner healing thing so that we could actually get to a place where we can embrace who we are and we can actually believe what God says about us, not people. That's the biggest challenge. One of the biggest challenges to actually believe what he says about us and stop declaring over ourselves what people, society, and our own failures, our own abuses have said to us. So if you're really struggling with this, and it's more than just picking the right bathing suit for you, and it's something like Brittany has said, it goes a little deeper. We don't want to just leave that out there for you. The Unleashed Healing Center is a phenomenal resource. Would love to connect with you. So just reach out to us. But again, you've enjoyed Brittany. Everybody give her a clap. Everybody say to yourself today, I am not an ornament. I am an instrument that God wants to sing through. Will I let him today? So Brittany, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for joining with us. Valerie, thank you for your comment. She said, amazing. To know you is to love you, Britt. Way to be your authentic self. The world needs more of this. Britt, you really are a great voice. And so again, everybody take a second and go subscribe to her channel and let's raise up these voices of positive and change. So everybody have an awesome, blessed Thursday. Thank you.